Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepard, and we're recording this on the 11th of April, 2011. So let's see some photos. Okay, buttercup, I believe, and I'm not sure that buttercup is a native buttercup, but it sure does bloom nice in April around Fayetteville, Arkansas, World Peace Wetland Prairie, and other places. I can't see the insect very well on the screen, but you may be able to identify it. I've got several different kinds on these flowers at times here. I can't see well enough. That is a variety of holly tree, holly bush, and it has purple flowers and berries. It's a little different from the traditional holly, so I think it's a non-native too. Might be a cultivar. But this is a daffodil, and it's one of the pale ones, and I love to make pictures of all the varieties, but nobody's got pictures, even the seed catalogs, of all the varieties of daffodils that we have growing and all over the country. They're wonderful, and they're there making color. Some started blooming in February this year, right after the worst weather ended. And you got several, that particular thing I have never identified. It's very beautiful, but it's a very tiny flower. You notice it's a trifoliate. See, there are 3 leaves in one place together, and the one in the middle is perfectly heart-shaped, more or less, and the other 2 are as though they fit together. There is Beth Presley, and I believe that's her daughter at left, and that's one of our good friends there. Here's Lionel Jordan, the mayor, and I believe that's Beth Presley's grandson right there in the front. And so they're talking on the square. That's the mayor's booth. He visits there every Saturday, and Beth usually keeps it and hands out city information and collects food for the food drive that's going on perpetually in Fayetteville now. These are also Saturday morning pictures from this past weekend. That's the Regional National Cemetery Improvement Corporation Board of Directors and some of the members who actually show up. That's one of the biggest turnouts we've had in several months. And talking about various things, including the fact they're about to close on a house on Hill Avenue, one that previously was a rent house for most recent years. Okay, Bicycle Day is coming up. April, can you see that? Is it 16th to the 25th? I believe. Anyway, somebody around here is going to show you one of those pamphlets up close. Here is a shot of some unpleasant development going on. They haven't made plans for exactly what they're building there, but for some reason they decided to go ahead and get permission to grade the lot. And that whole area was black, wet soil. They dug it out about 10 feet. Well, I don't know if it was 10 feet. It was, when I last drove by there and they were working, it dug it out about 6, 7 feet deep, maybe. But anyway, they filled it with red dirt. It'll no longer absorb water. In fact, there you can see past that lot with a zoom lens, house adjacent to it and the yard, and you see that's more that native black soil, and native plants grow in there and so forth. Okay, here's the house and lot that Regional National Cemetery is buying. You can see the owner, as part of the purchase agreement, said he would tear it down. But unfortunately, on Saturday night, that fire he had burning, well, those are logs in there. That fire stayed, nobody was guarding it at say 4 o'clock in the afternoon or whenever I first came by there. And it was going on till after the night. Finally, I heard a fire truck go put it out. But there you can see about 9 o'clock at night, it was left unattended still, and the wind was blowing Saturday night at a high rate of speed. Please be thoughtful about the rest of the neighborhood when you start a controlled burn. Be sure you follow all the rules. This is Lonicera sempervirens, and it's a native honeysuckle plant. And there's an example of the flower not quite in bloom. If you were at World Peace Wetland Prairie on Sunday, Earth Day, the 17th of April, then, which will be in the past by the time you see this show, you probably saw the small version of Lonicera sempervirens up on the vines. But that fully developed flower is one in my yard, not far, just say 150 feet from the ones out there. But for some reason, it's blooming earlier this year, and it has been in bloom for a month. Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See you. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and this is the 14th of April 2011 as we're recording. And let's show photos of outdoor things. Here we have, well, you see the tiny narrow white vine? That's last year's climbing milkweed. The greener stalk to the left is the new growth this year. And you see it's already gotten, in this case, about 1.5 feet or more tall. There you are. You can see the end of it, the structure of it, and the look of it. It's very similar to the milkweed plants that are, basically forbs, and more like little shrubs that come up perennially. And that's the end of the Matelea milkweed stem that's rising. Okay, this is a fruit tree limb. I'm not sure what kind it is, but it was kind of pretty. And that's down on the Stout Spring branch, as are those vines. This is a hollow tree on the Stout Spring branch riparian zone. Most of the trees have been damaged and knocked down, but that just wanted to shoot a picture up the hollow and show you what beauty was inside. That's the town branch. No, that would be, I think that was the town branch with the runoff from the high school. This is the new trail being built through the center of town that goes to the university. This is Frisco Trail. I have too many pictures for too many subjects too fast here. These people are restoring native plants. They're removing the invasive species such as China honeysuckle and privet here, and they're planting. These are some of these people. For instance, that's the chairman of the lady in there, Nancy Barble. She's chairman of the Tree and Landscape Committee, and there's one of the university professors. He was out there working. We had 2 biologists, and they were able to identify the good trees and separate them from the bad. There's one of the volunteers from the Tree and Landscape Committee, and she's got gloves on there. She's pretty happy, and I think you'll see a shot of her carrying one that's been pulled out of the ground. That man is using a new weed puller. I'm not sure what the official name of that thing is, but they're really good for little saplings about, maybe 2 inches in diameter at the most. Okay, there she is carrying what he pulled out, and you notice it's still got a lot of soil around the roots. It got a lot of the root, and she shook them off, the soil off there. This is a monarch butterfly feeding on a non-native species, and there he is from a different angle on maybe a different one. There were 2 there that he was using at that moment, flitting around, trying them out, and these were dead nettle and relative of it. Let's go forward. We've got honeybee, and that's on a native, one of the early flowering native plants. And it's really beautiful. There are a lot of them around town. It's funny, there are more of them in the wooded areas in the city itself, in people's yards, than anywhere else. Okay, there's Mayor Lionel Jordan at the Senior Center meeting with a group of seniors to talk about far in the future plans for improvements and enlargements and so forth of the Senior Center in South Fayetteville. That's the Tree and Landscape Committee meeting on the Wednesday the 13th of April. And there is a pamphlet they're providing everyone, invasive plant, white alien plants, and why be concerned. Okay, here's our GIS guru from the city, and he's supporting Bicycle Fayetteville Days coming up this weekend, or maybe they started last weekend by the time you see this. That's a crescent pearl butterfly, a very small one, out on Pinnacle Wet Prairie in South Fayetteville, just west of World Peace Wetland Prairie. Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See ya.